You look as if you have just come straight away from the Green Brigade.
Aye, with a meeting at 6:30, mate. Yes, and good evening to the Friday night Unrestricted View Goal Rush. And it's myself, JP, and joining me tonight is my very own Mr. Andy Gray. How are we? Oh, we seem to have a wee problem.
No, it's all right. I'm all good.
Right, okay. I thought this was going to be a night where we had you in subtitles for a wee change here.
No, I'm full of stats, mate. Ready to go. How are you?
Aye, I'm great, mate. Cheers. I hope the week's been kind to you, mate, and you've not been kind of lost off your feet at all.
No, I'm all right, mate. Got a haircut, so I'm looking beautiful, so we're all ready to go, mate.
Well, that's a matter of opinion. No doubt we'll be getting comments shortly to let us know anyway. But no, and welcome on again to this Friday night Unrestricted View Goal Rush. And for everybody that's watching on, I hope you are all well. As you all know, we're going through a bit of a serious case of bad weather in Glasgow because it is -9 at the moment. We're dealing with some really bad weather. It doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. So it's a wee bit hectic for us, I think, you know. Usually me and Ryan's got one on the night, but I've had to put my heating up full so that I can actually sit here just with a jersey on the night instead of a hoodie on the night, mate. But no, as I say, it's good to see you, mate. It's good to have you back on. It's nice to see you still smiling. And obviously, as we look again to the next round of the Scottish Cup round, where we take on again St Mirren at Celtic Park, we're looking forward to it.
Aye, obviously, mate, another chance to get through another round of the Scottish Cup. You've got to obviously look now. I'm not going to go and say you're on a bad treble, but you've got to try and look for that now. You've got the league. I'm not going to say it's wrapped up, but you'd be very, very disappointed if you don't go and win the league. In a final, one game away from winning a cup. So you've got to look at trying getting into another final, mate. So this is just another stumbling block in the way that you get through. St Mirren, we kind of know, we'll talk about it as the pod go on, mate. We kind of know the way they're going to come and play. We roughly know the way we're going to play, as always. So home tie as well, mate. You need to look forward to home tie. I'd imagine it'll be, I don't think it'll be a full crowd, mate, but I'd imagine it will be close to a good crowd anyway. Because obviously it's a bit better opposition. The weather might be a bit better than it was the last time as well. So all in all, mate, I think you've got to look forward to home tie as well. The fact that it is another competition to try and win another trophy gives a wee bit of extra spark as well, because obviously it's not just a matter of 3 points now, it's a matter of getting through to a later stage here. A lot of stages here are competition. So all in all, mate, looking forward to getting another game at Celtic Park, because it's been a while, mate, since we played since last week. So we're in midweek games now, so it's kind of one a week now, and for us it's not really that often that happens. Normally we get a midweek game. So what about yourself, mate, and hope a good week as well, mate?
Aye, well, the weeks went quite fast, to be fair. I suppose when you've got two kids under 5, mate, that'll keep you on your toes enough that the week just kind of disappears. But no, it's I just feel as if the days are just disappearing in a blink of an eye now. It doesn't even seem that long ago I was sitting with my kind of Diet Iron Brew watching Jules Holland at the New Year, trying to bring the bells in. And now I'm in February already. I don't want to be a big... I seen somebody put up a day, and I can't remember the number now. Somebody put up it's only so many days to Christmas, and I thought, right, you're taking that far too far. That's hectic. But people buy into that, and I would imagine people have went back up a loft just to dig out the lights, just for a wee feel good factor anyway. But obviously, talking about the game, mate, I think you always look forward to Celtic back at Parkhead, right, don't you? Last week we were away from home, so having a home tie for the Scottish Cup, usually a fan's few between for us, first and foremost. So it's good to get another draw at home. I think the Morton man was right out of the blue for nowhere, and then all of a sudden we've been drew it again, and I thought, right, somebody's going to get the sack here for doing the draws because they keep putting us at home now. But no, mate. Obviously, we've got a cup final and the other cup to look forward to, and obviously this Scottish Cup tie tomorrow to try and negotiate that. So that could be overall, mate. It can be not just a quick month, but it can be a very important month for our season as well. Like you said yourself, personally, I'm not going to start shouting about trebles and stuff, and I think it's far too early to be shouting about stuff like that. But that, as you said, the aspirations of a club like Celtic and the team that we've got, you would imagine that's going to be the aim or surely the chat room about the dressing room, because we've been in one cup final and then playing in the next, you've got a very good, and you've got a big lead in the league as well. So you're 9 points ahead in the league, so you've got that safety net there as well that you can put your eggs into this basket to sort of concentrate on this. Like you say yourself, we've not got any midweek football. I think it's the next 5 weeks or something. We've not got a midweek fixture, which is unbelievable because we're used to playing weekend Wednesday, and then I think it's going to bode well for the team as well, because they'll be getting that extra wee bit of rest time as well, time to recover, time to get back in and train, and it also gives your manager a chance to work with the players on the training field, because you've probably heard a few of them say it already. They can't really get doing that when there's so many games in quick succession. It's just a case of recovery sessions and, try to get yourself prepped and ready for the next game. I would imagine tactics, etc., probably doesn't even come into it, because obviously you're not getting a chance to talk about tactics or try and implement a different type of style, or even any changes to the lineup or strategy within the lineups. But now he has got a chance to do that in terms of working with the team Monday to Friday before the game at the weekend now. And I think that's only going to bode well for us in the next couple of weeks, as I say, mate, we're in what I call the business end of the season now. So I think it's only going to bode well for us in terms of, getting the team ready a bit better. Maybe players that have got a bit of fatigue, have got an extra bit of recovery time, etc., to try and get out of that wee muscle ache, etc. So, hi mate, all good. But I'm looking forward to seeing how the next few weeks pan out for us, especially obviously the cup final towards the end of the month.
I think now, but you're saying obviously no midweek games for a few weeks, so I don't think we've got any excuses in terms of tiredness this end of the season. Obviously last year, because of the way we were, he was trying to get things done early, and then the team, it was roughly, he wasn't really rotating as much as we were this year. It was always give or take, it was the same team roughly, apart from a few boys. So last year we kind of seen guys like Tati, was kind of Jota, O'Reilly. Near the end of the season, they were kind of, I think that's one reason why. I know they played in a European one, and we probably need excuses, but I think people were forgetting how quickly we were doing things, the way we play. So you can kind of roughly give or take, you can give the players a wee tiny bit of leeway how tired they were at the end of the season. Some players, not all players, the guys who were playing week in, week out, like Atati, we seen him, he peaked a bit earlier. Maybe some fans might say I'm wrong here, but he maybe peaked a bit early for his last year. And then because of how well he played and how kind of fit he was when he first came in, and he was playing a lot of games, maybe not at the level that he was used to, he did kind of peter to the end of the season, which we all seen. It wasn't I don't think I'm talking about a turn. We all kind of seen a few players were tiring, but I don't know if that was mentally tiring than it was anything else, because of how hard they are with Ange, in terms of we all know how at training, how intense it is, and every training session's a game situation. It's hard and intense, and I think now with the one a week, the players are a lot fresher. i.e. due to the rotation as well. So it means if it is Kyogo playing the Mora, if next week it's O, it means Kyogo's fresh again. So you've got a lot of guys who turning out and they're fresher. So, but again, I'm not talking about trebles, but like you say, you've got to have aspirations at Celtic to be in every final, to be ahead at this time of the season, because like you say, 9 points is still no. I'm not going to sit here and say the league's finished, because it's no. Anything can happen in football. But you've got to be really disappointed if you didn't go in now and win the league. That's just the way I feel. In terms of cup finals, you're in one now. If you don't get further in the Morris Scottish Cup game, then you've got to be disappointed. It's a Celtic Park. You've got to be very confident you'll go and beat St Mirren. Again, you've got to show them respect. They'll come and try and obviously implant their game plan. But our game plan should overcome that no matter what they do, because we should be good enough now to get that low block away and everything else. We should be good enough to break that. And I think tomorrow, mate, I think we will. I'm not going to sit and say scoreline, etc., because we could be in a St Mirren podcast on Saturday night, but also part of the fun. But all in all, mate, I'm with you in terms of the game tomorrow. Looking forward to get us back to Celtic Park. And I do feel that it'll be a good game for us as well, mate, to get back into it, because there's no league pressure. So it's into the Scottish Cup. Get that hopefully done, and then you focus on the league, and then obviously the big game came up in the month.
Couple of wee comments here. James, first of all, says, "Hail, hail, boys. Ange will want to right the wrong of the last year's Scottish Cup, and he'll want this kind of badly." Yeah, James, I would agree with that. And Shelley has said, "Good evening, boys." Good evening, Shelley. Thanks again, guys, for your comments. It's good to hear from you as well. But yeah, I think tomorrow, I think he'll go strong as well, Ryan. I really do. I think, obviously, I mean, they're totally different from Morton. So you look at the team he fielded against Morton. So that's why I think he will go strong tomorrow again. And I agree with James to an extent there. I think he'll have that in the back of his mind that we were maybe so close last season to getting to that final, and it took us. We kind of tired towards the end of that, but it took us to extra time to sort of lose the game eventually. So I do think, I mean, like every manager, you want to be successful, but at a club like Celtic, with the demands and everything else that's put on you, not just for the fans, but obviously this coach, this manager, Ange Postecoglou, I think the message will be really clear, and I think he'll want to try and get the job done as best as possible. Obviously, yeah, as you said, back at Paradise tomorrow. I think they'll have a decent crowd there, man. The reason I'm saying that is because a lot of guys will take that you can go to the game. It's a 5:30 kick-off. You can go to the game and then just go straight out to the boozers after it. So I do think there'll be a lot of fans there. There might be a lot of fans well inebriated because of the time of the kick-off as well. It's got to seem a wee tad strange because we're used to probably leaving Celtic Park at that time. And try to get home for Parkhead at that time, when that time tomorrow will just begin in. So it's got to be a bit weird. But no, I'm the same as you, mate. I'm looking forward to it. I think in terms of teams, you could sit here all day and try and predict a lineup and, you know, what way he's going to go. Unfortunately, I've had a busy day today, so I've not really had a chance to hear John Kennedy's presser or the Greg Taylor. So normally when you see the player then, man, you kind of judge it and you go, right, is he going to be he's going to play tomorrow, obviously. So, but it wouldn't surprise me. Whatever team Ange plays, I would be happy, Ryan. I don't think there's a player in that current squad. Even we've spoken at length. You look at the Celtic bench now and you can see that the bench is, every one of them are all first team starters, in my opinion. They could all come in and start the game right away and I'll start on the team most weeks. So I don't think it's going to be a I don't think it's going to be a positive or a negative, but it'll certainly be. I don't think it's going to be a topic at all. I think the Celtic, whatever Celtic team fields the park, it'll probably be more likely a strong side, mate.
Aye, especially for a cup game, mate. I think maybe against Morton, you could give or take a few young guys, or a few kind of what we would call fringe players who don't really play every week. But I think with St Mirren, maybe the only change you maybe say would be maybe O playing up front just to give him a bit of game time. But again, then you're going, but it is a major game. Do you risk playing him in case he doesn't perform? The fans get on his back, or he's not like Jackie Marcus. He's first 2 or 3 games, fans on his back right away, and then all of a sudden now when he's leaving, they're all unhappy that he's leaving. Just shows you, mate, football can change within a few games. And I'm kind of, again, I'm like you, I don't really try, and the only games I would really debate about playing would maybe be a Glasgow Derby game. Anything else, you don't really, the manager can do what he wants, you know what I mean? But normally, you play your strongest team in the games. Well, you're at that time, your strongest team. I know there'll be a few fans saying, "Oh, Scott Bain might win goals," and it's a wee bit of laugh and a joke, but that's a disrespect to Scott Bain. That's just people trying to throw wee spanners in the works. But I think all in all, there's no point really debating about the teammate because I can't really see too many changes in terms of. I'd be surprised. I've been wrong in the past, mate, and I'm happy to be wrong again, mate. But I just can't see too many changes. I'm saying I'd like O to start personally, just to see how he is. There's maybe no better, again, it's no disrespect to St Mirren, but there's maybe no better game to bring him in. Celtic Park, home crowd, a game to go and prove yourself. Obviously, no prove yourself to Ange because Ange knows all about him, but we don't. Go and endear yourself to the fans, go and put a good performance, try and get a goal. And if it doesn't work after 55, 60 minutes, you've got the wee man on the bench to come on and get you a goal if need be. So maybe that's the only thing I can maybe say that he might do is maybe play O up front. That's the only change I can maybe think off the top of my head, mate, that I think he might do just to give O on a game. I don't know, a minutes, mate. But in terms of that, I don't think anything else will change.
You think he could start with a water?
That as well, mate. There you go, Ice. That's another possibility. He's not really featured the last games or so. So it's another opportunity for him as well, I would say as well, mate, to come in and get game time. Because like Ralston as well, if he's fully fit and back, yeah, definitely. Again, Haskabanovic come in and play again because he's not really played much recently. Is he fully fit to play 90 minutes? You know what I mean? So, like, we can sit all day, mate. We can sit for us fully on the half an hour, whatever, and debate who could play and how we're going to play. And like you says, mate, there's not really much to debate about this Celtic team because you're very confident no matter who it plays, even if it is. In my opinion, I still feel some of the youth guys are still a bit far away in terms of the standard. But You've got every confidence in them that if fans just get confidence to play them, then you know they're going to be able to come in and play. So you've got every trust in the manager. I know you did mention about Kennedy there. A lot of fans are really getting themselves upset about why is Ange in the presser? Why is this? The manager doesn't need to do the presser every single conference. It doesn't need to do it. The assistant can do it, or the coach. He can take the off.
We actually got a wee message for Plunger. He actually asked at the beginning there, why did Ange not do the press conference?
Well, apparently Kennedy was meant to be doing it today. That was all. Again, that we'd only gone by what we've seen on Twitter, social media, and what we've heard for wee bits of information. Apparently Kennedy was meant to do it anyway. Ange just told him to go and do it. So see if that's the case. Ange was at training today. He took training as normal. So what's it? Just because he's not in front of a camera, it does mean that he's not there. It doesn't mean that he's everything Leeds on a flight and sitting
I've read some mental things tonight, mate.
Mate, I can guarantee there'll be somebody put a tweet just for the sake of it. I seen Nan's doing it Ellen Road at the petrol station. I mean, it's funny, it's funny, you know what I mean?
They got a Fredo and a chomp, I can't diet in mood to get changed.
Aye, he was sitting signing autographs and all that. I mean, I like banter, mate. It's all fun and banter, but see if I was to go to Leeds, mate, it's just a scenario right now when it happened.
I seen a comment from one of your fans. The guy says, why is Ange not doing the press of the day? And the guy says he's away trying to see something about that cough.
Mate, it could be. They'll put it this way: there's no chance in my opinion right now.
But there we go. There's Angelo. Cheers for commenting, mate. Kennedy mentioned that Ange is actually locked up on the upstairs, surrounded by security, tied to a chair. At least he got released for training this morning.
Aye, so he done training, then went back up in his chair to watch still game and that. Know what I mean? So
the boys got Maloney having Stratton's iPad.
Aye. To be fair, man, that's another thing as well. Nobody's talking about Kennedy Stratton this year. That's in brilliant coaches now. They're doing a brilliant job. It's just because of that.
Because he done that pressure. To be fair to you as well, man, I've heard. I watched the interview he did for Celtic TV. It was about 11 minutes long. I think Kennedy speaks very well.
He's highly rated, mate, as a coach.
Well, that's the thing as well. I've got no qualms with that at all. With him coming and speaking to the media and talk about the team, because he's there every day. He knows the team, so it's not like he doesn't know what the hell's going on. Or, he's there every single day.
I don't see what the who is it because there's speculation about the manager going that because he's not there. Oh no, where is he? He could be anywhere. He could be doing his shop in Costco, give a day off. Do you know what I mean? He could be doing anything.
The manager's allowed a bit of time off as well, even time away. But I can understand where people are coming from, Ryan, because it is the first press conference he hasn't done since he became a Celtic manager. In terms of press conferences, I think it's his first, but in terms of like post-match and stuff like that, I have seen John Kennedy and even Harry Kewell and stuff doing them once or twice for him, but they're far and few between. They're no money. But maybe it was just a case of, because he, in my opinion, this is just nonsense, right? In my opinion, somebody's just put 2 and 2 together. They've got 95 and all of a sudden he's going to be the main target for Leeds. When Ange Postecoglou in any English media at all has not been mentioned. Sky the other day, Sky mentioned his name because of the rumour that started up here. That was it. He's not been mentioned. It's been the guy for Rayo Vallecano, who's now obviously ruled his sell out of the running for it, and the guy for Feyenoord.
I'm glad you mentioned this. I'm glad you mentioned this.
The Rayo Vallecano manager, I think his name's Areola. Iraola.
I know his name, but you're the man for that, mate. So you can
I think his name's Iraola. Well, he's ruled his sell out of that anyway. And we've now seen that they're after the Feyenoord manager, and I can't. No disrespect, I just can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head now. But I remember what he looks like. He's baldy. If that makes, I don't know, but picture that paints for people. Well, narrowed it down to about 45% of Glasgow.
He's baldy.
He's baldy. Looks a wee bit like Aaron Moy. Looks a wee bit like Maeda. That's about it. In terms of his head shape anyway, he looks like the guys. But he's aye, as I say, so there's not been any mention of Ange, but he's, see, the thing is as well, Ryan, who was it? Lampard, before he was in trouble, and I think Ange's been linked to more clubs now than Rory McIlroy's got in his bag. It's unbelievable. I've never known a media agenda, right? Try to sell a guy in all my life, when all he did was slate the guy at the beginning because he didn't have his UEFA badge. He had to go and do the course. He's never managed in Europe before. He'll be the Australian version of Pedro Caixinha. What a nonsense! He'll be sacked before Christmas. What a rubbish we've heard and we heard leading up to that. Now they're trying to get rid of him. They're actually, Big Ange's as well, sacking his representatives and maybe his agents and just saying to the Daily Record, going to find me another job. Because they're trying to get him, man. He's been linked to every... I'm surprised he's not been linked with the Aberdeen job. That's the only club he's not been linked with. It's absolutely frightening. You're like, who comes up with these stories? I mean, some of the... Ange Postecoglou, I seen I don't know where, I can't even remember where this was, and it was somebody had copied it and pasted it. I don't know if it was a Snapchat or whatever, but it was a chat between two pals, right? And the guy says, "What do you make of Ange Postecoglou possibly away leaving Celtic?" And obviously two of them are Celtic fans. And the guy went, "Surely that's a load of rubbish, blah, blah, blah." And the guy says, "No, mate, apparently he's fed up eating square sausage." I nearly fell off my chair.
As long as I steak sausage in, it might be all right, because I like steak sausage myself.
Look, he's fed up eating a square sausage, and that's all he seems to get delivered to his house. But who's delivering that to him? And who puts in the order? I was like, oh my God, man. This is the kind of people you're walking about amongst in society. It's the same as this Lynn. I'm probably going to need to listen to him more of this Lynn tune that sits up behind me. You keep shouting about Samaras. I don't even know if Big Sammy still watches Celtic.
Big Sammy's probably chuffing fag somewhere.
But now, we hear tomorrow, big old start tomorrow, and then, boys solid. Big Sammy decided not to go to Atalanta with Big Giacomakis. He's decided to stay here and train that boy now. It'll be somewhere along here. It's just some of it. They're just three examples of some of the nonsense you hear, mate. And it's funny, okay, but some people really buy into it and jump on the gravy train and just take it as gospel. Just because it's on Facebook or just because it's on Twitter, or use your head and actually look at the thing yourself and say, right, Leeds are away down the bottom of the league. They're a big club, no doubt about it, right? They're playing in probably one of the best leagues in the world. Okay. It's an overhyped league, in my opinion. It's an overpaid league. And it's no as good as what they make out it is. The product isn't as good as what they make out it. You probably got one or two teams that are okay. But the rest are probably average. So so I don't doubt. I think me and you spoke about this away for us off camera, etc. Leeds wouldn't be doing their job, Brian, if, let's say for talking's sake, they had a recruitment team, right, who were out trying to get a new manager. If Ange wasn't on that list because of the job he's done, just alone at Celtic, no, even the fact that he's a serial winner on his CV, right? Just his Celtic accolades already. In my opinion, Leeds wouldn't be doing their job if Ange wasn't on that list.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're missing out on something now, you're missing a trick. But do I think Leeds have approached Ange? No. Do I think Ange would probably entertain that? No, because he doesn't strike as the type of guy as Buck Rogers, who decided to do a midnight money and leave us in the lurch 4 days before we were due to play the two Edinburgh teams within like 2 or 3 days of one another. So, as I said, it just doesn't strike me as that type of guy that, would do something like that. And he strikes me as the type of man who would be honest enough to, listen, we're not going to keep him forever, right? So get that out of your head right now. But when he does go, I reckon it's going to be in the close season and it'll probably be all done amicably. And there'll be enough time given notice for him and whatever else with the club, the working relationship he's got with the club, to then allow the club to go through the various channels in order to try and bring a new manager in. So, or at least have a look at getting a new manager in quickly. Because I would like to think even post Ange Postecoglou, Celtic are still within this modernised way that they're proactive enough to get things done early doors and they learn from mistakes of years, because it looks like that's what's happened. Okay, it's took for this manager to come in and do it, but let's hope that Michael Nicholson wants to carry that formula on into the next one. And onward we go. But some of the rubbish and nonsense that you've heard there last Ryan is just unbelievable. Before I bring you back in, mate, Merrill has put up that he misses Castlemaine Forex. So he's actually going home because of that. Ryan, you're looking with that sort of screensaver mode on your face here. Castlemaine Forex is the name of Australian lager beer. And it was an old, your dad will remember it, it was an old advert that was on the telly years ago. I can see the pub from here. And it's, you need to go and, you need to YouTube it to get it. But obviously Merrill, like myself, has just showed his age now. so we now don't need to ask him because we know he's at least over 40. Avatars, I guess. Or near enough 40. He's definitely over 35 to know what that is. Because that was in the 80s, that advert. Ran into maybe early 90s before it kind of disappeared on the telly. Sorry, Merrill, if I got that wrong. I do apologise. I'm not actually having a bit of banter. So before people start commenting and saying that's a shame, slaughtering a guy like that. But here we go. What did I say? How good am I? 44, mate. There you go. Absolutely astonishing. I surprise myself every day, to be fair. But aye, I'll bring you in, Ryan, on that thought. But and me personally, I just find a lot of it nonsense.
Right, media, how long we got? How long we got? How long we got?
Sorry. Before I bring you in, Mr. Gray, can I go and make myself my dinner?
Aye, go for it. Mark to Hunter, mate, on you go. No, as I said to my old man today about it, I've never seen a media, radio, talk shows trying to get a Celtic manager out. I've never seen it in my life. I've never heard it before. Every day in the media, it's Ange's this, Ange's this, Ange's lucky, Ange's this, Ange's this. Just because you've been successful, I totally get there's going to be talk about you because you're doing well. Totally get that. If you're not getting talked about when you're successful, then you're going to worry when are you going to get spoken about. I keep saying, people keep going, Ryan, you can back here all water here. When Rangers won and beat us to, obviously they stopped us 1-10, they went unbeaten or whatever, etc., etc. Nobody wanted the players. There was no big bids. Nobody wanted them. There was talk about Gerrard leaving, etc. He didn't go, right? See, if a big club came in for Gerrard, he was off because he left when a semi-big club came in from in Aston Villa. The media weren't trying to get Gerrard out. The media were trying to sell the players because they couldn't sell the players. Big difference. Our players are getting talked about for going for no bad money when they should be going for more. But you've never seen a media, in my opinion, mate, an absolute hound area manager. I've spoken to people who I'm like you, mate. See if I've said anything that I think it's maybe wrong, I'll say JP think it's wrong or right. Because if I'm talking about rubbish, you'll tell me, Ryan, I don't agree with it, which is fair enough. But in my opinion, I've never seen this before in terms of even with it, Brendan Rodgers, you never seen it. And Brendan Rodgers at the time, his stock was high because he went on at Celtic. I'm agreeing with you. I've said it all along. If teams like Leeds or Everton, etc., aren't they pursuing Ange or aren't they looking at him or haven't they asked to talk to him, then they are doing their job wrong because he is a sort of manager that teams should be looked after, looking at. Sorry. Yes, he's a Celtic manager. When you're doing well, you're going to get looked at and maybe hyped up a wee bit.
Yep.
But the amount of hype that I've heard on, was it yesterday or the day before? I think Super Scoreboard, it's the first I've actually listened to in a while. All I heard was Ange to Leeds. Ange to Leeds. What about answers goes to Leeds? Will it be this? Will it be this? I'm like, even Barry Witts, listen, I respect people going to probably give me a bit of jip here, right? I respect Barry Ferguson as a football player. He was a brilliant player. Might have played for them across the water, but he was a very, very good player. He didn't play with Blackburn. He was decent to get a bad injury. He was good for Scotland. He was a very good player. Unfortunately, get injured. He might have done well down south, even better down south. But him saying that he would pick up Ange and drop him off and all this, and Aaron McCoy saying it, I know it might be a bit of banter, but they know that Celtic are not going to lose. In my opinion, I'll put my neck out in line now. Celtic will not lose the league if Ange's the manager. I can put that. It's just my opinion that I don't feel Celtic. It can be up for debate, but I'll maybe say, right, if this is what you think about Ange, right, that's fine. But you're not going to change my opinion on it. But I'll accept your debate. I'll argue with it and say this is maybe why I think, and you think, right, that's fine. But you're never going to change my mind in terms of if Ange's Celtic manager, unless it's an absolute complete mishap for the players, Celtic will lose the league, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I might be wrong, but that's just what I feel. But I've not seen an absolute... I've never seen it before, JP, in terms of the media. I totally get that if he's not getting linked, then there's obviously something wrong with these clubs because they should be looking to appoint a good manager and look at Celtic. Because let's be fair, right? We are one of the biggest clubs in the world. Don't care what anybody says, right? Well, worldwide, one of the biggest clubs in general. Just everything. The only thing that we're missing is the money for down south because teams like Brighton can outspend Celtic when they're nowhere near us in terms of stature, trophies, clubs, everything. The only thing they've got bigger than us is where they're playing in the league. That's the only difference, in my opinion. For me, if Andrew's going to go, in my opinion, it would be the end of the season. And if he was to go, I don't think it'd be an Everton or a Leeds or an Aston Villa or a West Ham. I think it would need to be a top 6 club that's challenging for trophies, challenging for Champions League or whatever, because why, again, I don't know if I'm being blinded Celtic fan here, mate, right? I'm trying my best to take out that I'm a Celtic fan here and just looking at it from a club perspective, right? You're playing in Champions League. If you win the league, you're guaranteed group stage football against 6, well, at least 2 to 3 blockbuster games. So that's 2 to 3 blockbuster teams, 6 blockbuster matches. Guaranteed. Plus your 4 Rangers games, right? You're going to be absolutely worldwide. I totally get the Premier League's worldwide, right? But you're only playing against Aston Villa and whatever. You're playing against Man U, but it's every so often. But this is 6 blockbuster games to test yourself. I totally get your test yourself down south. I get that. I totally get that. But if you're with Leeds, unless Ange finishes top 4, he's not going to play Champions League football again. He's no. That's a fact. He's just not going to. He may get Europa League or whatever, but in my opinion, if you're a Celtic manager, even Rangers manager, if you've got any ambition, then I think you've got to aim for the top 8, top 6, top 4 in England, if that's where you want to go. Teams like Everton, see the thing about, it goes back to my thing about, I put a tweet out the other day about Cal McGregor, and I'll stick by it, right? The only reason I'm mentioning this is because it coincides with what I'm saying about Ange, right? In my opinion, McGregor, it's just my opinion. I know teams like Brighton and West Ham have all good players. The original top 4 or 5 would be your Arsenals, your Man Cities, United, Chelsea, and who else? Top 4. Chelsea, Man City, Man United, Arsenal, and Man City. So 5 in it.
You've said Man City twice. You know Man U?
Man U, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal. That's your top 4. And
Arsenal are top of the league, aren't they?
What do you call him? Escape me. What do you call that?
Newcastle.
No.
The top 4, the current top 4 in England right now. Arsenal first, Man City second, Man U third, and Newcastle are
right. No,
fourth.
But I'm talking about just say the original top 4, 5 would be
Liverpool.
That's it, Sherry. Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal. Liverpool, right?
Sorry for any Liverpool fans that might be watching us.
No, I knew. No. So they're roughly the normal top 4 or 5. Right? This year, it's changed a wee bit, right? Give or take, when their 4 or 5 teams are at the pomp, in my opinion, McGregor could maybe get on the bench and contribute. Right? I'm not saying he would play every week because I don't think he would. I think they've got a lot more money to buy guys. But see the way these teams are playing now, down below the top 4, in my opinion, McGregor walks into their team. It's just my opinion. See, he could play every week for Brighton, no bother. Your West Hams, no bother. Liverpool right now are honky tonk. You take the time he couldn't come in and play instead of Henderson now. Henderson's no his pomp now. Henderson's, I'm not saying he's finished, but he's no at the top. I think he could come in and do a very good job for a lot of teams at Liverpool now. He could do a good job for Leeds. Yeah, any team like that, in my opinion. The top
really
4 or
5. One of the Arsenal's tonight, mate.
I know, I seen it.
How could you forget my Liverpool?
I had it in my head. I just couldn't remember. I couldn't get it out. But it's just my opinion. I think Tom McGregor, and to be fair, the only people who reacted to my tweet was Rangers fans. No, he couldn't. I'm like,
surprise.
I'm like, listen, Gonny, please take off your specs for 2 seconds. Carl McGregor is a top player. You can't admit that guys are good players just because you don't play with you. You can't admit guys are good. Like, I can admit that Ryan Kent, if he's in a better team and a team that sticks to his way of playing, Ryan Kent's a decent player. In fact, no, take that back. That's probably harsh. He is a very good player when he's on his game. But this season, it's been far and few between. He's been inconsistent. They'll tell you that. This isn't just me saying that. Rangers fans will tell you that. On his game, Ryan Kent's a very good player. He's quick, he's tricky, he can cause you hassle. I think he went to Leeds or West Ham. I think he would do well to so because it suits him. I can admit that guys are good for Rangers. Like guys in the past, I know I was a bit younger, but your Loudrops, your Gascoignes, your Michael Moleses, they've all been good players. But it seems to be this generation, JP, that guys don't want to admit that their rivals they're playing well or they're doing well or they've got a good manager. They don't want to admit it. Even me, like, sometimes I might be biased, right? But I really do try my best to be as unbiased and balanced as I can. But sometimes in terms of media, mate, I can't. In terms of Ange, I think if he's going to leave Celtic, mate, he's got to aim for the top 6, the top 4 England, or he's got to go for the top 4, whatever, abroad. You can't go down to Leeds. Well, he can, right? But why we leave Celtic where you're winning trophies every year, you're going for all the trophies. You're going for European football. You're guaranteed group stage. The new as it stands, you win the league, and you're working with a fan base and a club that's elite. Let's be fair. Celtic is a club, no the league. As a club, Celtic are an elite worldwide fan base. They're a worldwide club known everywhere. It's a massive establishment. It's massive. And I even put a tweet on Twitter, and down south reacted to it. How are Celtic big on Leeds? I don't need to point that out to you. If you don't think Celtic are big on Leeds, then I think you need to look through the football archive. You need to look at football because it's just something that maybe you know much about. Because Celtic are massive. There's only, in my opinion, JP, maybe 2 to 3 clubs that are big on Celtic down south. It's Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man U. Arsenal are a push, but Man U and Liverpool, massive clubs, bigger than Celtic. Massive, right? Man City, no, because Man City are only big because of the money they've got and who they've been took away. Their past, take away before they took care. A lot of people can even point Man City in a map compared to now. But in my opinion, JP, it's nonsense. It's just trying to get him away. Difference with Rodgers, in my opinion, I'm not going to say that his ceiling was finished here, but he kind of done, if he went to the end of the season, right, Brendan, you've done what you could. You've kind of not done the best in Europe, but you've got us into the group stage. Right, okay. See you later.
And just still... Rodgers used us to enhance his own profile for down the road, mate, because he worked in there.
No,
this tends to be a bit different, in my opinion, with Ange. Ange doesn't strike. He's certainly no money motivated. Because no doubt, even between Australia and Japan, he would have had other offers, surely to God, with the job he done, especially with the Australian national team. So, he doesn't seem money motivated, doesn't come across as that type of guy to me. But Rodgers is totally different. Right for the off, mate. My dad used to laugh at me. Some of my mates laughed at me as well when I used to say to him, Rodgers, there's something not right about him. And I went, what do you mean? I went, see the way he talks about Celtic? It's scripted. It's as if he's read it off Google or he's read it off. I know you're smiling there, mate, but I've even said it to you after this as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something wasn't right with him. See if you listen to some of the stories you used to tell and go back now and have a look. It was always different with him, in my opinion, mate. And in my opinion, he came up here just to get himself. I mean, he was sacked with Liverpool, so he came back up here to build his credential again. And he
That's why I see a wee comment there for Punch. No, Punch, I'm not saying Celtic are as big as Man U and Liverpool. What I'm meaning is, down south, Man U and Liverpool are probably the only clubs, in my opinion, down south that are bigger than Celtic.
Well, certainly for fan base, we're probably sitting behind them.
I would say the top three clubs, definitely Man U and Liverpool. Arsenal could be a push because of their success under Wenger and the way, obviously, they know they are, right? Arsenal a push. But anybody else in that, Chelsea are no bigger than Celtic. Financially, off night and day because of who they've got as owners and what they've done in the past with Abramovich. But in terms of fan base and everything else that goes trophies-wise and just everything about, they're no Liverpool, Man U, in my opinion, yes, absolutely. That's not a debate. Anybody can debate it. But I don't think you've got a debate because Liverpool and Man U are just, in terms of revenue, even maybe even some of the fan bases, maybe fan bases will could be bigger because they've obviously they're worldwide in terms of the Premier League, right? They're getting to see more often, and obviously they do a lot of tours, and so they're going to get fan base. But in terms of Celtic, mate, Celtic are absolutely worldwide in terms of the fan base. Because they were playing Scotland, maybe not as much because of Liverpool and Man U, but take away Liverpool and Man U, Arsenal a push. Celtic are absolutely no as big as them, but down for there, bigger than your West Hams, your Brightons, your Bournemouths and Everton. I can sit name them all, mate, because Celtic are a massive club, and it's only us that know this, and even Rangers fans, Aberdeen fans, they all know how big Celtic Rangers are. But because we're not down south, it's the arrogance of down south. Again, anybody who's English, this isn't. I'm not saying this as you personally. I'm just talking about the English media and the English population of football. It's like as soon as like a Celtic player, a Rangers player does well, or they're got why are we signing him? He plays in Scotland. Look at Armstrong, Van Dijk, Foster, even Hooper came down, done Wanyama. Hooper done okay with Norwich, right? He wasn't brilliant, but guys like Pookie failed up here. Man, I'm walked down south. So up here's a very hard league to play, and it's not a debate because of the. I think our game's alright, but I don't think the quality up here's that bad. See when you watch a game, some of the players are decent. But in my opinion, JP, I just think it's the arrogance of the English media. No, really, some of the English fans have obviously because they don't really see us. We've spoken to some obviously guys who have been down south, and they have said obviously because they don't see it every week, they don't see the quality. But in my opinion, JP, most of Celtic's 11 could easily down south and play easily. Like your Vickers easily, McGregor easily, Kyogo could easily go. Maybe no top four, but easily down in the top lower, mate. Definitely. Even the top 8. No, the top 4 downwards, sorry. But I just think the arrogance, mate, they just don't believe that we're good enough and we've not got this good manager or these good players, even Rangers in the past. It annoys me, mate, and I know you shouldn't bite, you shouldn't comment, but I'm like, no, you need to be outed because you're talking nonsense. You look at the game first. Celtic, when they play down south against teams down south of Europe, always do well. Always do well. Your Liverpools, your Blackburns, United, City we do twice. We've always done well. So you think maybe they would think, well, if we draw Celtic Europe, we're up for a hard game. I've made out, Man City would probably, they'd probably do us, mate, right? But we've got the.
But they done the last time.
Aye, that's true.
We made
But
2 goals at it.
But now I think the financial growth, mate, in terms of Man City's, it's even bigger now because of who they're signing, right? But I've no doubt that we would compete with Man City. But you probably expect to lose. But we competed. We did just about. Just the class told. It was the class it told, and their experience it just told in the end, and we just weren't experienced. No experience, no had enough quality to see the game out and get a draw, or whatever. But in my opinion, mate, it's all to do with money. It's finances that beat us. It's where we are. And if we had the money that they've got down south and we went down there, mate, I'll stick my neck within 2 to 3, no, maybe no 2 years, 3 to 4 years, mate, you'll be charging top 4 with the amount of money you're getting. There's no doubt in that because you would get more crowds because obviously you can't build the stadium. So, but you would get more people buying into the club, than the merchandise and just everything, mate. It would totally change your full philosophy, in my opinion, mate. If you go to money with down south, you would definitely challenge down there.
Well, that's it. We would treble in size within the first couple of years with that finance. And that's scary to even think that, obviously, that's a distinctive possibility. But Plunge actually comments and he says Klopp's job is on a shaky nail.
I don't think it is.
By the way, I think he's bought himself enough time. Obviously, so far his time with Liverpool's been trophy leading. He's won something near enough every other season. So I think he's safe to now. But Paul Slane on open goal now a couple of times. It says that Big Ange could easily walk into that Liverpool job after him. I know that's a big shout, but if guys like Graham Potter's getting the Chelsea job, why is that not a distinctive possibility then for Ange to get a job with, like Liverpool?
Mate, I believe he's again, it's just my opinion, mate, for what I know and what I've seen of him. I do believe he's an elite manager, mate. I really do. I believe he's a top draw manager. For what he came in to and the way we are now, no lot of managers can do that, mate. And I do agree with Plunge in terms of he'll be under pressure, but I don't think he's getting sacked, mate. I don't think he's getting sacked because they've given more rest time to build the team up, and you can't just sack a manager because you've had. Obviously, it was different with Neil Lennon because of the pressure we were under in terms of the trophies and the way the season went. I don't think they're going to just sack him after one season because he's not won a trophy. I think he's bought a bit of time because of how successful he's been. And I'm like you, mate. I think he'll maybe get another season, another summer to get it right because
to go again at that.
Because I agree with what even Klopp said about himself. Don't know if it's a wee dig at the players, but he did say that I've not become a bad manager overnight, and I don't think players and managers become bad overnight. There's always circumstances why it's happened. You don't just become a bad manager overnight. Right. Somewhat again, we all know what happened that season. But Neil Lennon didn't just not win a league because he's a bad manager. A lot of things happen for that to happen. It wasn't down to Neil Lennon. There's a lot of things happening within a club that makes you know do well. No, because I like getting back to it because it gives you different scenarios for this season and how things work. A lot of things happen in football clubs that make you question something that happening and behind clubs because players don't become bad players overnight. It could be bad coaching. It could be things happening behind the scenes at their family life. A lot of things happen why players and guys fail just because they're not good enough. Aye, sometimes that is the case. But I just think in terms of Ange, mate, he's better than the Leeds. It's just my opinion. I don't think that a guy like Ange should be leaving Celtic to go to Leeds. I think it's a step down in terms of club. Aye, you're playing a big league. You have more money maybe to spend and maybe attract some better players. But I think leaving Celtic, I know James Forrest said it in the past about players, when they leave Celtic, they kind of regret it. And I think sometimes the grass isn't always good on it.
No, I've just seen a comment there saying Brighton can actually pay more wages than us. No, every team in the Premier League can pay more wages than us. That's what I was just mentioning a second ago there about in terms of the finance. It's a bigger pond and a lot more fish that you can choose for. So it's totally unbelievable. And I know people saying, "Oh, Brighton are this." They're playing the Premier League, so first and foremost, that qualifies them to be given the finances of the Premier League. Teams like Brentford would probably be able to pay 60, 70 grand a week. We can't pay that. It's just impossible for Celtic to pay that and sustain it through a period of time in the actual SPL. So every team in the Premier League, there's probably even top teams in the Championship, I would say, could probably pay more wages than we can. And I know that's sad, but it's the reality of Scottish football. We're not laden with finances. And we certainly don't have a massive pond that we can fish for. But no, I totally agree with you, mate, in terms of, and I think it would be mental to, I personally don't think it's, I think there's a lot being made of this, and I don't even think it's a story, to be fair. I think the media have kind of stirred the pot with this one, and they're sitting there with a big cauldron just doing that, watching us all talking about it, and this is what they want. Instead of just going, whatever. I'm pretty sure when the time comes when Ange decides he's willing to move on, I'm sure we'll be the first to know. I'm sure he would let us know because he's well loved, right? You see him after every game, he's giving it all that, and he just doesn't strike me as that type of guy. And he's no money motivated either. And he's just brought a wad of guys from Japan and, guys that he can trust, guys like Aaron Moy. He signed them up in contracts. So I don't think all of a sudden Ange's going to go, right, boys, I'll see you later. And leave them all here. And he's brought in Harry Kuehl. He's brought in Mark Lowell. I don't think he's just going to go, right, I'll see you all later. On my way. I just don't see it happening. So, to be honest, I think it's a nonsense story. But we move on, mate, and we never stop, as you say. It brings us to my favourite bit of the Friday night, mate, which is this.
Goal!
I love that. You know what I mean? I just love that. That makes my whole Friday hearing that. I'll just hear that again, mate.
Goal!
Love it. Absolutely love it. I think you do as well, don't you?
I like it, you do, mate.
Well, thanks very much. That's really nice.
It's past the watershed, so I can talk about it.
Actually, just aye.
Aye.
Aye. Well, there's one thing I'll not be doing, that's for sure. That's for a couple of other guys I know. This. Definitely not.
Aye.
My Friday nights are totally different for yours and somebody else's. But obviously we've got the Scottish Cup this weekend, mate. So Hearts are currently a goal up against Hamilton. So the results for us start tomorrow, and the results and the fixtures. So we start off with Dundee United. They entertain Kilmarnock, right?
I'll go Dundee United. I think because there's going to be no pressure to try to get 3 points to try and obviously get away from the delegation and keep themselves away from there. So they're kind of, I'm not going to say it's a free hit for them, but it's a free hit in terms of no pressure in the league. They've got a cup game. Don't need to think about the need. Obviously, they need to win to qualify for the next round, but it's not a case of we're fighting for 3 points here. It's a chance to go and get silverware. So, in my opinion, mate, I'll just keep it short, and I'll say Big Fletcher's team will do the business.
Aye, I'm with you. I think Kilmarnock are struggling on the road, aren't they? They're not doing too well. Tony Docherty actually does their presser, and he talks about it. He's like, we want to try and put a show on for the fans because I've not really had much to shout about away from home. So that tells you everything you need to know right away. Plus the fact I've lost Big Lafferty as well, which to us is probably like losing Johnny Kenny. And I don't mean that to sound bad there. I don't want to be disrespectful with the boy Kenny, but them losing Lafferty is like us losing Kyogo.
Aye.
He was one of the players, you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I do think that Dundee United will get a victory there and get ourselves through to the next round. Next up, Livy's at home, mate, and they play Inverness.
I'm going to go for an Inverness victory, a wee bit of a shake-up. Aye.
By the way.
I was thinking about it today, obviously, we're conmoning the fixtures, and I just think that, again, pressure's off Inverness. Everybody's expecting to win. Livy are obviously in the Premier League doing okay as it stands, so but I just think maybe Livingston's attentions will be to try and keep in the top six. So I think that might be again, they'll obviously go and try and win the game, but I think Inverness, similar to maybe United in terms of it's a bit of a free hit because they're no thinking about the league. It's a bit of to try and cause a scalp. United's different because of the pressure's all frame for the league. It's a free hit to try and get into the next round because just because there's no pressure United to go and win the game because they're in a wee bit of a bad run in terms of the league. So take away the league. It's a new competition, fresh bit of scenery. Go and put a show on for the fans. It gets into another round of the final. Again, it's more money as well. It's a money thing as well. So Inverness win, it's more money for them as well. So I'm going to think a wee bit of a cup shot. I think Livy might play a bit of a weak team as well. I might be wrong. I'm not a Livy fan, so I don't know. I do understand that Inverness obviously playing a decent grass park. We're going to an Astro Park, so could be a wee bit of a thing from Inverness that sense. But I think I'm going to go Inverness, mate, just to cause a wee bit of shock. Because you always roughly get one or two shocks in the round. You don't always expect the shock to happen. But I think I'm going to go for Inverness, mate.
Hi, I'll be commenting here before we go any further. Red Scotland has commented saying, "Hail, hail, guys! Great to see you both. Hail, hail, chat.
Hail, hail, mate.
Cheers,
hail,
Red.
hail.
Thank you very much, mate. It's good to hear for yourself as well. Cheers for watching on. In terms of Inverness, I'm going to say that I think the game will go all the way. I think I'll get into one of the games that get into extra time, and then on we go. I think Inverness might just nick it. I just want to throw a spanner in the works for the sake of it. Usually, I don't want to. Usually, when I do this, I give teams a kiss of death, and 9 times out of 10 at the end, if I say teams are going to win, they'll get beat or draw or whatever. Obviously, I can't pick a draw this one, so I think Inverness will qualify. Next up, Brian, we've got Rafe Rovers who entertain Motherwell.
I've been
Stevie Hammett on a shaky nail if he doesn't win that.
See that I've been 50-50 on this because Motherwell might not be putting their eggs in the one basket because they're obviously having to away for the league. So if they lose, are the fans going to be really annoyed? Or will they go, do you know what, right, it's a competition that maybe we don't need to win right now because we need to get away from the bottom of the league? Or is it the opposite, that they want to get away from that, but similar to Dun United, it's away for the pressure of the league. It's a chance to get into further round and a bit more money as well. A win, they get confidence. It kind of works both ways. So, and Rafe Rovers are obviously there, not having the best of seasons as they have in the past. They're no near the top of the league. I think it's Dundee and Queen's Park. So, I'm really, I don't really want to. So I'm going to go Motherwell. I'm going to go Motherwell to get a confidence win. I think I actually seen the bet in the day. I think they're 10-11 or something away from home, which I think that's a decent price to be fair, considering they're in the Scottish League. I thought it might have been a bit better than that, a bit less than that. Sorry. So I'm going to go with Motherwell. Just the fact that I think they need a win. So Hamill, you get a wee victory, mate.
Right, okay. I'm going to say that myself because, like I said, they've brought in new players, Motherwell, and eventually it needs to click for me. Eventually it's going to click. And when it does, I think, like say the boy Ichisu and the big boy Abika, I do think they'll be contributors to getting them some positive results. They've got the Japanese boy, I know, they've brought in Danzaki.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think eventually it's going to click. I think it might happen more for them in terms of results. So, I'm going to say Motherwell. I'm not even going to ask you about the Celtic game. No, I'm not doing it. Because obviously I know what you're going to say. Or, in fact, don't say, because I don't want to end up back on a podcast again. And then we head over to the Big House as they take on Partick Thistle.
As much as I'd love to say my old club Thistle, mate, I think it will be a straightforward win for the dark side, shall we call them. I think it will be a Rangers win, mate. I can't really see. I just can't see how Thistle win, mate. I think it's Rangers would need to be unbelievably poor. Like, I mean, every single player would need to be off it, and Thistle would need to have a game of life, which can happen.
Just a normal game for them, man.
Basically, aye. To be fair, Rangers haven't been on. I know the form book will tell you they're playing well in terms of results, but you speak to some of the fans and you see some of the social media comments, they're not playing too well. They played well against Hearts, give or take, but apart from that, since Michael Beale's come in, they've not been terrific. They had a good bit against us, but until, in my opinion, until Greg Taylor and Joe Hart went off, we were cruising. It was a training game, passing the ball about. It was easy for us.
Uh-huh.
I think they've obviously got aspirations, mate, to go and get to the cup final. So I think they'll maybe put out one or two, maybe youngsters or one or two guys that have not really been playing, but I think they'll win, mate. I just can't see Thistle winning as much. I love it, mate. I love Thistle to go and get the result because I think they're taking a very good crowd as well. So they're obviously expecting to put in a good performance and maybe try and get a short result. But I'm going to be honest, mate. I think that, I know Darvo are playing Falkirk, we'll mention that, but I think if Thistle beat the Rangers, mate, I think that would be a shock around because I just can't see it happening. I would be shocked. If Partick Thistle rocked up, mate, and won, I think I'd be shocked. So as much as I want McCall to get a result, I don't think they will, mate.
No, I agree with you. And by the way, there's breaking news coming out as well that apparently all the chaos are now fully stocked. So we're hearing that they've got them back in. So I'd imagine they're all going to be size of kite. Sunday, 4 o'clock kick-off Sunday afternoon. They'll be going in there, totally out of nut. Talking about how Hadji's one of the best playmakers in the world again, and like I says, and how they've added, was it 15 million worth of quality in terms of Raskin and Todd Cantwell. The guy, I don't even think the two boys have done a toilet in the place yet, and they're talking about, the this and that. But no, I think I agree with you, Ryan. I think it'll be a home victory, comfortable home victory there. And as I say, we move on. Obviously, it's no Premier League, but I will mention them. Darvel take on Falkirk on Monday night. I'll be honest with you, mate. I think Darvel fancy that. I think obviously beating Aberdeen, they're back at home again, so why not? We've all seen a wee glimpse of how Darvel play.
Mm-hmm.
What did we know? We're going to the following week to get beat by Offaly.
Mm-hmm.
The following game after Aberdeen, but that shows you could go for there to there because of the emotions, etc., and everything that they put into that game. But no, I'm pretty sure that looking at that Falkirk game, they'll be a game that Darvel think they can get something. I'm not going to predict that one because that's not part of our goal rush. So, but I do think Darvel will probably feel, and they'll probably be confident going into time, mate.
I would say they'd be confident, mate, aye. But as much as because obviously I know Mick personally, we've spoken to him on this, and I love Darvel. I think just the story of Scottish football, mate, it'd be amazing for Mick through and all around. Amazing for the fans and the players and Mick himself, and obviously a bit more money. Another chance, hopefully, that Celtic, hopefully we qualify, and then the Rangers qualify, another chance to get one of them, which would be unbelievable. That would be amazing for them to get one of the big clubs, mate, or even Hearts, like you say, if they qualify tonight, something like that again. But I've heard, I think Falkirk have sold their allocation as well for it, so they're obviously expecting to go and win. I think this might be a round too far. I think Falkirk might win, mate. I think I fancy Falkirk. I know I fancied Aberdeen, but anyway,
Well, I don't think you'd have been alone in that campaign.
I think it's got. I know Darvel, but will Darvel be able to put another performance like up again? I don't know. Probably, they could, but it will take another mammoth effort. I know Falkirk are no Premier League, but they're still full time. They're playing league. They're doing well in League One. They're still a full time team, so it is still a few divisions up. I know Darvel are very, very fit, but you would expect Falkirk to come in and maybe get a result. Let's be fair, mate. Darvel should be getting beat. That's just the way it is. They should be. Falkirk should be going there and winning. Same as Aberdeen should have went. But Darvel were unbelievable, and you just can't say as much. No, you just can't say any more than we have. It was amazing. For me, it's one of the best results ever in Scottish football. If Falkirk beat them, if Falkirk get beat, it's another story to continue. But I just think this could be around maybe too much, mate. I think Falkirk would be unbelievably disappointed if they didn't go and beat Darvel again. Falkirk, Nate's Goose, fantastic football surface to play on. It'll be a full crowd as well, probably as well. So Darvel, like you said, mate, I'll be expecting to go and win because they obviously beat Aberdeen. Why should you then go and beat Falkirk? The fans will be expecting to go and put a good performance on, but I think this could be maybe just a wee step too far, mate. But I've been wrong in the past, mate, and I'll be happy to belong again if Darvel go and win.
No, it doesn't always work like that, as you say, Ryan. I know Darvel couldn't expect what they want, but sometimes it doesn't work like that. You've got to then go and perform on the individual day itself. But I agree with you, mate. And that brings us to the end of our show. It's been a wee quick 12 minutes. I'm actually surprised we got, to be fair, because I thought we'd have been here about midnight. But no, but anybody, obviously, what Ryan touched on there, anybody that didn't know that's already following the channel, is that Oscar what he predicted right as he doing his goal rush thing with there, Ryan?
He says the Foxes will get beat tonight, so that's his prediction. He likes the Foxes, so.
Right, okay. Well, for anybody who watches the channel regularly or didn't know this, we actually had a chat with Mick Kennedy a short time ago last year. And for anybody that wants to find out where it is, if you just click on my playlist section on the channel, you'll find it in there. An interesting listen, guys, if you want to find out a wee bit of Mick Kennedy's background, the Darvel FC manager. So that's in there for you if you want to have a look. It was Ryan Ryan had a chat with Mick at the time as well. So it was a very good podcast and a very good listen. For anybody else that's new to the channel at all, it's maybe come across us for the first time and you like the content, please don't hesitate to click the like button and the subscribe button as well on my YouTube channel. It's totally free to do it as well. And if you don't know how to do it, all you need to do is set up a wee password and a wee email address and a password, and that'll let you create a wee account for it. And you just click the subscribe button. And all it basically does for you folks is just allows you to be notified when the page goes live and when obviously you get to see our big happy faces all the time. But yeah, we enjoy doing this as well. And like I say, it's totally free. We don't charge anybody any money for anything that we do. We do it totally off our own backs because we love chatting about Celtic and just about anything that Celtic do. We're on all platforms as well, all over social media, myself and Ryan. The page itself, Celtic Unrestricted View, is on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. That is mine and Ryan's Twitter handle. So for anybody that wants to maybe get in contact with us regarding the channel or regarding Celtic, regarding anything at all, even if you've had a bad day or you're sitting there and you feel as if you've nobody to turn to, nobody to speak to, you're feeling down about anything at all, please do not hesitate and don't sit yourself either. Because we're a couple of friendly guys and we want to lend an ear to anyone at all that would want to reach out. But yeah, from myself, I wish you all the best. Have a great weekend, everybody. Back on Sunday night, Ryan. Is that right?
Either tomorrow or Sunday, mate. 1 or 2, aye.
So yeah, so we'll be back over the weekend. Maybe aye, maybe not for me, but certainly for Ryan, because I'm making sure he's doing a double shift that night. So he'll definitely be back with us. But again, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for taking the time with us this fine Friday night to sit and watch us. And hail to you guys. We'll speak to you later.
Hail, take care. A big milestone for the captain as well. Considering obviously where we were a wee while ago, didn't know who the captain was going to be. A few, including myself, wasn't sure, but McGregor was kind of saying Julian and all that, and you weren't really sure who was going to come in as manager to start off with, and then who would be the captain. Obviously, because let's be fair, anybody who follows Scott Brown, it's always going to be a hard task to follow the way he was as a person, as a player, and as a captain.